Welcome back, people. This is Don't Sleep on the Couch podcast. I'm your boy, Mr. Prez, and with me always,
it's your boy Kash, aka Exec P. What's happening, good people? I'm back. You miss me?
Hey, so Kash, I'll let you tell it. Tell the people what happened last week. Hold up. Once again, I'm already moving too fast, as I usually do.
Easy,
Kash,
cowboy, easy.
Kash, for the new people who ain't never heard us and don't know what we're about, can you please enlighten them?
Absolutely, man. This is Kash, Prez, Don't Sleep on the Couch. Music, sports, entertainment, culture each and every week. And by culture, damn it, we mean black culture. Hip hop, sports, R&B. You know we gonna cover it, man. We gonna have people on from time to time, having a good time chopping it up about their beautiful bodies of work, whether that be something that they're doing in an entrepreneurial field, whether that's something that they're doing musically. We always try to have people on to promote their brand and what they're doing, especially if it's dope shit. So if that's something that you can gravitate to, just do it. Just subscribe, share it, do all that good stuff while you're watching, while you're listening right now. If you listen every week, send it to somebody new every week that they may like it. Just tell them to give us a chance. Just tell them to give them a chance, and I guarantee we would lock them in and be continued listeners. So, but before we do that, just want to give a quick shout out. Before we kind of move on, just want to give a quick shout out to all of our Patreon members that have kept on paying month after month, week after week, some almost 3 years now. So shout out to y'all. We appreciate y'all. Too many to name at this point, but just wanted to give y'all flowers, man, because y'all definitely helping out.
Yeah. And for those people who've been with us for a minute, last week, man, it was rough, man. It was rough for me and Kash. We almost broke our record of not getting it out, almost not getting out of episode. But thank y'all for whoever listened to last week's episode. We didn't have too much promotion on it because it was rough. Like we was both down bad. I had my allergies like flare up like super bad, and I was suffering through the episode. Kash I'll let him explain it in a minute. But got through it. We came through it. Still got it out on time. I felt like testament to our work ethic. You know what I mean? We just couldn't let it be. We got to get something out there. So
yeah, no days off, man. Even when we sick, man. So.
But this week, man, it's been kind of good week for me, man. It's my daughter's her 10th birthday. That was yesterday, so that was all good. Got through that. I made it through that, so that was a good little feat. She was extremely happy. Got a bunch of little stuff. Still can't. Everybody's waiting to move into this house, man, because we're getting all this stuff that we garnered over the past year. It was like, hey, keep it small because we ain't got no room to put it nowhere. So just have to throw all that stuff out there ahead of time. But Kash, how about you on your end?
Man, God is blessing me, man. He, sat me down with COVID, so that's why I was out last week. So finally got cleared to go, and was down for a good couple days, man. Vaccinated and all, so that shit was kicking my ass, man. But yeah, thanks for holding it down, man. I know you was sick too, like you mentioned. So yeah, I was like, yo, cancel it all together. That's one of them weeks where I was like, just call in sick for both of us. It didn't really matter at that point, but yeah, man, but in the blessing, with all that, man, is I'm under contract for a house, haven't closed right now. So that was like really paining us and just really stressing us out, on the real side, me and my wife. So kids are all situated now, schools, everything is kind of evening out into where everybody's going to be. So that's a beautiful thing, man. So I'm blessed for that to even be able to, really be in that position. You know what I'm saying? So happy
man,
about
that. You're going to leave there a year later than me and going to be in a house before I do.
Lucky, man. luck of the draw, man. But blessings, no luck, blessings, man. So that happened, man. So that's a positive.
Yeah.
Submitted. If y'all don't know, I just got back into music, dropped a few singles earlier this year, and been working pretty much podcast, music, and really been doing that and getting back into it. So I just submitted for 2 projects that I got coming up. One is with Furious Styles called A Basement. So that should be coming out May 30th. Quick little intro mixtape, giving you some vibes of what's to come on the album. And then I submitted for my album. So 9 tracks, quick in and out, 25 minutes. If you could bear with me, 25 minutes of me rapping. And I think it's some of my best rapping in years. So Should be a good time, man. So I'm excited, man. Even though all that was happening, still was making other things happen. So I'm excited for
Yeah.
all the things to come.
Hey, bro, I hope you ain't pushed through like no COVID. We don't need no Kanye song like Through the Wire and you trying to rap in the middle of COVID and coughing and shit. You ain't do nothing like that, did you?
No.
All right,
I didn't even bring myself to nowhere up here in this room in this little makeshift studio to record a damn thing while I was in COVID. I was too busy being a little bitch. You know what I'm saying? Baby, can you bring me some chicken noodle soup, please? Yeah, man. So, but
Yeah.
but the whole family had COVID, y'all. So if y'all listening out there, everybody went down except for my oldest son. And then we went to get checked out today to get cleared to go back and start doing our thing, to be, good to other people around us. You know what I mean? To take an official test, even though we know we all felt better. And wouldn't you have it? This cat got it, my oldest son. So he escaped it the first week, but, not listening. He got
Who's staying home with him?
I gotta stay. Of course, I'm staying home with him.
Okay. Yeah,
gotta be a good dad, man. Gotta be there for my kid, man. Come on now.
Nothing to get more time out of work, huh?
I'm gone. I'm good as gone around here. I'm leaving in a month. I'm good as gone. They might as well can't. You know how it is. The last week, if y'all don't know, Prez was prior in the military. I'm still in the military too. That last month before you go on, you got a lot of stuff to do. They've already been done with you, they just got to come to grips. So it is what it is, man. So, but this isn't convenient though. We got a lot of shit to do, but that's enough about that's a little bit about our personal lives, what we've been going through, and yeah, man, I'm ready to get this pod on, man. Talk some sports and music, bro.
Yeah, man. So this week, man, I think we need to go back. I'll let you recap that Pusha T. That was the main episode last week. I knew that's what everybody listened to. That's what I had still listened to, even being that. So I had a whole episode on the Pusha T, broke down every song on it, talked on it. I'll give you your time to tell us what you thought of the album. We'll go back and catch a couple of the albums from that week that we didn't go to, mainly The Blast, we'll go on that. And then we had a couple of releases this week. I think, what was it? Ransom,
Action Bronson. We had
Action
Future dropped as
Future.
well. Kehlani dropped. PJ Morton in R&B. But I know we're going to talk about a few of them because we haven't had a chance. It's just way too much music dropping. So you guys stick around. I know definitely we're going to talk about Ransom. Definitely going to get a little bit into the Future. And then, pretty much wherever else we go.
We'll just have a conversation from there. Yeah, we'll just have a conversation from there. For sports-wise, we had the NBA wrapping up round 1. And then we got the NFL. They had the draft in Vegas. I think that's going to be a good discussion too, man.
Yeah, they parading your boy around. So I was like, man, all right, yeah, we can.
You know what? Let's go on and jump into that first. Then let's start there. Let's start with
the draft, man.
That's fresh topic.
Take it away.
The draft. First thing I want to talk about, man, it happened in Vegas. It was the first year this happened in Vegas. It was supposed to happen the couple years ago, but then COVID happened and everything, and so they kind of had to push it back. They gave them a year and a half later. They letting it go down over that way, and I thought it was a great event, man. For everything negative everybody can say about Vegas, that event was pulled out smoothly. Nobody's drunk, slosh. You ain't have no fans out there super slosh and just acting a fool. No big events. I haven't heard about none of the new prospects actually getting in trouble after they got drafted, throwing a big party or something like this. It seemed like everybody was inviting the people who wasn't in the main green room on the NFL stage. Some of them was at different other locations throughout the Vegas Strip, and where they had their own personal green room and had the cameras on them, so they were still in Vegas, but not part of that main part. So that gave more options. Just more options there. I thought it was ran perfectly there, man. I think that venue is going to be perfect for the NFL and these type of events and things that they can do. Indianapolis hosts the Combine every year. Every couple of years, I think Vegas probably needs to be in the mix for this draft. I just think it's too
Vegas,
easy for
New York,
everybody.
Miami, like all the big cities. Like nobody wants to. You got to keep it to the big cities. LA. You know what I mean? You have to keep it to the big cities because they can accommodate.
I thought Tennessee did it pretty good. Memphis, they did it pretty good in Memphis. I don't know, that little strip that they had down there, it looked good on TV. I wasn't there live,
Fair enough.
yeah, that one looked good on TV. But yeah, it's some of these other spots. Yeah, we don't need I don't think we need to be at a lot of these other places.
Oh, next depending on where it's at next year, we may have to make it a business trip. Of course.
Yeah.
That's gonna be our new thing.
Made it this year. I
Once
almost made it this year.
Once I move back to the States, every sporting trip, I'm like, Prez, dude, we can do it on site, can't we?
I like it. Hey man, but that was like the overall aesthetic of the NFL draft there. I thought that was good. I thought they pulled it off perfectly. The Raiders being ambassadors, even though we didn't have no first and second round picks, kicking it off with Derek Carr and Darren Waller there. Ice Cube coming up as the official president of Raider Nation.
Stay right there, Prez. What's this I hear rumbling to Waller not possibly sticking around, man? Like,
they squashed that early, bro.
Okay.
They squashed that early. Soon it was a rumor coming out that Green Bay was trying to include him in a trade with Devontae Adams, and that they couldn't do it because the way because he was franchised, and you can only trade a franchise player for another franchise player. So since Waller was still under contract and not franchised, that couldn't go. They took the first, second round, and then it was sprinkles right before the draft that they was going to let him go back for a second round pick for Waller or something like that. But then Derek Carr came out on his Twitter like quickly. He was like laughing. He was like, no way. So once Carr said that, I was like, okay, yeah, it's just a rumor. Okay. That shit ain't.
So he running shit around there though. Huh.
Yeah, minute he got his contract and he cut his pay to make sure everybody could fit in. Yeah, I think you're right about that, man. I think he's kind of running things a little bit, and he's chasing that ring, man. That the guy want that ring, So I don't think he's gonna let any of those weapons. You can only give him more. He want to improve, but he ain't letting you nitpick and take anybody away. I don't think that's gonna happen. But yeah, so yeah, that was the way it kicked off, man. As far as what happened next, I stayed around for about the first 15 picks, and then, kind of doing it off. The Raiders didn't have no first or second round pick. We had Devontae Adams. We don't need no fucking picks. So
did it take away? That was good. Did it take away from the love though of the draft? Because the draft is always fun to watch, man. I don't care whether you into the game or not. If you have a team and you actively follow your team, did it take away by not having any real picks, or are you one of those in the weed draft watchers?
I'm one of those in the weeds. I wanted to see what certain teams were going to do. Like mainly, those teams on the back fit team, they already set. They made it. Those are more than likely, fringe playoff or made playoff teams. So they're good. You want to see what those other teams are doing to improve, right? So, and can they have a turnaround year similar to San Francisco drafting fourth, get one pick, and then next year they're back in the playoff hunt? What is Jacksonville, who's drafting for in first place for the 2 years in a row? What are they really going to do? Are they kind of going to continue to improve, or are they going to pull something like we seen in the early 2000s of Detroit drafting wide receiver, and none of them working out? So, yeah, that was interesting. So I think the first little portion of the draft, you had it wasn't going how everybody had picked. Everybody said Aiden Hutchinson was going to go first. We got an edge rusher that was over him, and that was what Jacksonville chose. I was kind of shaky on that. I understand what this dude I'm hoping they went back and watched all the tape, but with Aiden Hutchinson just cut from the beginning of the year all the way to up to the draft, nothing changed in this thing. Why would he get downplayed and become second round pick? But I know that helped out Detroit, and he's from Michigan, going over there to them, so they got him with the second round. And then you had I ain't gonna lie about this one now. I was a little bit taken back with Stingley getting taken first.
Yeah.
Over Sauce, but I think it was the media hype building up because I listened at we listen at the Boo Money
right
podcast, and Boo Money, and he put it perfectly. Now Stingley should have been number one because as a freshman, he was taking on all this talent. So he hasn't lost a step, and you can't take nothing away from him. So I was like, the media got to me. You know what I mean? I ain't really analyzed like I probably should have. And so that made me a little bit more, complacent about yeah, that was probably a good one. I think he's going to be the true shutdown. Then Sauce going right after him. So those hold a deal. And then Drake London going kicking off the wide receivers. That was Atlanta that got him first, right?
Yep.
And, that run of wide receivers starting at like 8 to what I was thinking it was like 12, 13.
Yeah, yeah.
Where they just came off that board quickly. Man, I was just laughing so hard on the inside, Cash, because we got Devontae Adams for Green Bay, and we gave up our 22nd overall pick, and every mock draft had them like getting one of those Olave or somebody was going to still be there at pick 22. Oh, they was gone. They was picking for scraps, like to the point where in the first round they didn't must get a wide receiver. They didn't get one till second round, right?
And then that also made Tennessee, which we'll talk about later. My Eagles got AJ Brown. Mm-hmm. That made them have to trade up, because if you would have waited any longer, you're probably not getting a wide receiver your choice. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then you're gonna have to pay AJ Brown at some point. You know what I mean? Or deal with that headache. So it made them rush. So everything kind of worked out in divine order, so to speak. You know what I mean? So yeah, man.
Let's talk about the trades then, man. Like it was a lot of trades that happened in that first round. A lot of them was for additional picks in later rounds, but it was two that stood out because it was players and players that you didn't even know that was going to be gone like that. Well, you just heard early rumblings is the AJ Brown was a little bit unhappy, you know what I mean? And then next thing you know, he's dealt to Philly for 2 picks. What was it, a first and a third?
Yeah.
First and third. And then you had the one that got me, Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, let's start with Hollywood Brown. So from the standpoint of if you hit Lamar Jackson and that's the only threat you had to throw to, I get it from both ways as I kind of started to think about it, because I was like, damn, why would they do this? But all they led me back to is y'all didn't get Marquise Hollywood Brown the ball as is in a running offense. If that's exactly who they are going to continue to be, when he comes up for his contract, he's going to want his money, and he's going to be deserved to get that money, because he is the only guy that gets 25% of the passes in the offense. So he's going to feel like he's the guy, even though at 25%, that's still lower than what he would get in a passing offense. With somebody who could pass better than Lamar. Lamar can pass, but in a passing offense with Kyler Murray, you guys saw them at Oklahoma. You know what he could do with that boy. So, but on the flip side, when you talk about Arizona, how much more firepower y'all need on the offensive end? Like, besides injuries, that's what really slowed them down. It made them look like crap when they got to the playoffs. But they were at one point they were number one in the NFC West until towards the end when they took a little dive. But that's because of the injuries. Everybody went down. Defensive side, Watt to the guys on the offensive end. So, Murray ain't had nobody to throw to. But we're getting him a deep threat, because let's be real. The guys they have there in Ertz, they still got Fitz, right?
No, they got AJ Green though.
AJ Green, he's old.
D-Hop.
D-Hop. Those guys are possessed at this point. They can take the top off every now and then, but that ain't their game. Their game is if they're in the 20-yard line, cancel Christmas. They throw it up, grown man catches. You got to deal with that. You know what I mean? But as far as just quick plays, that's your man. And I thought it was odd that they let him go. But I believe in Baltimore, because if one thing they do, they stick the scheme on both sides of the ball, and they are often successful. So, but it still was a wow. Still was a wow.
Yeah. And the big wow for me was the fact that it stayed hidden. Like, this has been a completed trade, they said, for a couple of months now. That's the part that got me. But I guess they had it in the contract or in the paperwork that if this leaked out ahead of the draft, which kind of like would show their hand and who they was looking to draft, like they was gonna cancel it. So I think the agents had to know, the player, and the owner. That was it. Nobody else knew. Now, Kyler Murray was acting up. I don't even think he knew.
Yeah,
they probably just told him, "Calm down. We got something for you."
But he got the tweet off too. Lamar Jackson tweeted something. I forget exactly what he tweeted. It was just like an emoji or like one word, one of the two. I can't remember, but that set a lot of people off. Like, oh, Lamar's upset about losing his number one receiver, this, that, and the third. And I was like, now that makes sense. What you're saying is nobody else knew, like literally nobody, not even the franchise quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So that, wow, yeah, again, just wow. I didn't know that was in the cards at all. But switching gears over to Philly and AJ Brown, I still didn't think that he would be one of the guys that would be available for us. I mean, I was looking at a wide receiver for this draft just to go, opposite of Devonta Smith, because we needed that Rager. Like I told you on via text, man. You remember that old Madden game when we used to play, when you used to throw to a certain receiver and had bricks by him. You know what I mean? So that's him. And he was supposed to be the guy to take the top off when we drafted him a year prior. He just never could really get on the field, injured. We had JJ Arcega, Whiteside, and it's just we've had a string of bad wide receivers being drafted.
Mm-hmm.
So to go get a guy that is not even in his prime, but has earned his money, just go pay him. And it's a no-brainer. He was paid right after $100 million, $57 million guaranteed. I'm elated. Now we have a guy that could take the top off in Devonta, and then you have a guy that when you get in that end zone, big boy. It's a big boy game. Either Goddard got you at 6'4", or you got that grown ass man on the other side. So that offense is going to be scary good. And we was number one rushing offense last year too.
And then who did y'all pick up on the defense? Y'all got Fletcher Cox coming back from one last year, right?
Fletcher Cox coming back one last year. So now we're going to groom Jordan Davis, man, from Georgia, man. So I love that pickup. You get somebody who is big. Like, he's going to dwarf Fletcher Cox. That's how big that boy is. You know what I'm saying? Saying that's Fletcher Cox. So I'm happy with it, man. You know what I'm saying? To get younger and get a replacement versus going out there in free agency and doing that. That's where you want to do it. And if anybody doesn't know Philadelphia Eagle football, the reason why even at 9-8, 9-7 in the past, when the games were 16 games, the reason why we would make the playoffs almost every year is those trenches, man. It's the trenches, and everybody wants a sexy pick, the guys on the corner or the wide receiver or the quarterback, but the game is won in the trenches. And I hate to be cliche, but it's real. And that's where our bread and butter is. And, word has it that Fletcher Cox was in on the pick, as well as our second round pick, Cameron Jurgens out of Nebraska. Kelsey picked him, who that's his heir apparent as well. So when you're letting the old players and the guys that have been there the longest just do that for you, or they're willing to do that, that's a great culture that we have. And then Howie Roseman is knocking it out the park. So now you got AJ Brown, you got Fletcher Cox's replacement. He's coming back for 1 year. This is Kelsey's last year. So you get Cameron right behind him. And then the crown jewel of them all in the third round. I was like, yo, I didn't want Cameron Jurgens at that spot. I was like, we could have got him, a little bit later, possibly a center, you know what I mean? Not to say they come a dime a dozen, but he comes with his faults as well, you know what I mean? He gets to be a little bit jumpy. He hasn't been playing the center position his whole career. He's played tight end and stuff like that. So he's still getting used to the position. He ain't been in the position but maybe 4 or 5 years. You know what I mean? But then you have N'Kobe fucking Dean out of Georgia, man. Yeah, I don't know how he slipped all the way to the third round, but once we nabbed that up, I was like, I'm good to go. So the other players that we got, I have to do we have to do your linebacker out of Georgia. Other players we got, I had to do some research on them. I'm not gonna lie and act like I know Kyron Johnson or Grant Calcaterra out of SMU. So I don't know what those guys are gonna do or what they're capable of. Word has it as that second tight end Grant Calcaterra. He may not make the team. You never know. We don't have too much faith in our tight ends behind Dallas Goedert, and we're gonna need something like that. You know what I mean? As far as a tight end to back him up. So that's really the end of the draft. If I had to really give it a grade right now, it'd probably be a B+, throwing in AJ Brown in there because we gave up something for him. So he's a part of the draft. So I would say a B+. We still haven't addressed our secondary. That's one of the things that over the last several years that I've always consistently said, God damn, we need to get better in our secondary just to be able to put a Band-Aid on the shit. Like, we can go score for score, blow for blow with most teams, pause. But my thing is, let's just stop the bleeding. So we haven't addressed that. We need somebody opposite of Slay. We know Slay is gonna lock down the field, but even the best corners get thrown on. You know what I mean? Look at your boy out of on the Rams, man, during the Super Bowl, pretty much the entire run. You know, Jalen Ramsey, he got scored on. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, you don't want to keep chancing it with just having one lockdown corner. You want to have somebody that's like very close to that on the other side. So, or safety. So we haven't addressed secondary at all. You know, so the Honey Badger's still out there. Word on the street is that we're looking at him.
Is Stephon Gilmore still out there?
I'm not sure. But I know
But it's
Honey
free
Badger.
agents. There's some free agents out there.
I don't think
And
Gilmore.
then
I don't think Gilmore's out there. I heard he got picked up. I heard he got picked up. I just can't remember who it is.
okay, but then, but I mean, teams are gonna like if they draft it, it's gonna be some players gonna end up getting cut. That's gonna put somebody else out there. You're gonna have your post June cuts that's gonna happen. So I mean, it's gonna be some talent out there, and people will trade. They'll still trade. I mean, if you really want to wait, you can still kind of address that via trade and stuff like that. So I think y'all looking good, man. Actually, I think y'all looking damn good. I mean, I know it's just hey, can't be paper champions and stuff like this, but some of the stuff y'all got to address, man. If Hurts plays well, I can see y'all going toe for toe against Dallas for that division. We'll see how it plays out.
I got much
I'm
more
already
confidence.
telling you right now, I'm hoping that y'all get that and pull that off because I just wanted to be able to talk noise about Dak, you know?
and I just want to be happy again. I don't want to be like last year. I mean, we made it, but that was a hell of a year to go through, man. Like ups and downs, and still get in the playoffs and not really have a chance. Like that ain't a good position to be in. Like making the playoffs but not really having a chance. Like you happy you made it because the guys get to get that experience, but at the end of the day, you want to go in there with a puncher's chance, not get your boot smoked as soon as you get to the playoffs, man. So
yeah. And then as far as the Raiders, I'll run down this real quick because our main little thing was we got Devontae fucking Adams. That's all we got, right? We have our first pick to the third round. We end up trading back to pick up another couple picks, another pick extra in that. So we was round 3 at the 90 position. We got Dylan Parham. That would be our guard. So I mean, we're missing a tackle position unless they're going to move Alex Leatherwood back to tackle and they're going to move him to guard. But he's a multiple type offensive lineman. He can play multiple positions, so that's a good like filler piece on there for his rookie year. But hey, man, I think they addressed the line right off the bat. Then we got new coach, new GM, and they kind of said that they was going to be best player available. So right after that, we didn't sign. It was already told that we didn't re-sign we didn't sign any of the fifth-year options for any of the people that was available. So that included Josh Jacobs, right? He can get his fifth-year option. And round 4, we go out and get Zamir White, Georgia running back. So we'll see how that works out. And, I mean, is he going to be a replacement completely? They're going to throw him in right away, or is it going to kind of, let him sit behind and fill in, and Josh Jacobs gone next year, don't get a contract, and you fill in Zamir White? Or do they become like a 1-2 punch like a lot of these other teams are having, like Chubbs and Hunt, We don't know. In round 4, we also got a defensive lineman, Neil Farrell Jr. from LSU. And then we end up getting Matthew Butler, another defensive tackle for Tennessee. And we went for a tackle in the 7th round for Thea Mumford with Ohio State. And then in the 7th round, we went back again for another running back, which Britton Brown, running back for UCLA. So I don't know how to read this because we already picked up a couple free agent running backs, and we still got Kenyon Drake on the team. So I don't know how this coach kind of feel like. It's going to be waiting to see after these camps and see. But, I mean, we already did do one camp going through it, so I don't know if he's seen something then and they kind of bumped that up the list, or was it truly just best player available and we'll have him on the team and try to hide him out for a year or so. I don't know what to think of this draft, but we got Devontae Adams, so we're going to the
we got Devontae. The draft for you was about 2 weeks ago, huh?
yeah, man. I didn't even much really care. I was watching it, paying attention, but man, nah, it was all said and done. Once we got Devontae out, I don't give a fuck about this draft.
The first, second round, I don't give a damn. I ain't watching this shit. Oh man, yeah. Gonna be a good one, man. So, all right, so that's the NFL draft. Us covering down on our his Raiders, my Eagles, and just a little bit of the draft day trades and stuff like that. Just stuff that caught our attention. It's much more that we could deep dive. We'd be here for another hour if we really went through it. So we'll spare you
But
guys that.
honestly, we don't care. We just checking for our team, just like
yeah.
any other fan, and then we just sprinkle in with the other little stuff. Like oh, that's a nice move. Don't really give a damn.
A little sauce, just a little sauce, just a little podcast magic. Just a real in. That's a real in. They call what you reel them in with just some bullshit. Yeah. Then you talk about what you really want to talk about. But yeah, man. But yeah, bro. Yeah, let's get to the NBA playoffs, man. First round over, done with. The MVP, he's gone. My man Joker got knocked out, put up hell of a numbers, hell of a fight, but they'll be back next round or next year. Hopefully with Murray back and MJP. Like, so I just look out for them, man, because like I think a lot of their young guys have grown. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Also, those Timberwolves, man, high impressive. I think we saw a changing of the guard when we talk about Ant-Man. So I think Ant-Man is going to surpass Cat. In terms of the go-to guy moving forward. It has to be that way. The wing should always be leading the way, and then the big man to be the big man. So, but will Cat kind of give up that ground? But I don't know, man. But like they lost 3 big leads, 2 26-point leads in one series, and then another 20-point lead in another. They easily could have won this series. So while Ja Morant is doing the gritty and dancing and doing all that shit, celebrating.
I know people are hating. I loving the antics like offside. Did you see his little tweet too?
Oh,
you see his tweet that he released? Like
chasing.
The bear chasing the Timberwolves.
Yeah, chasing the Timberwolves. That's all it was. It was no caption. I don't even think he put an emoji on there. It just that was the post. So I love it, man, because this is going to be, if they keep that core around in Cat and Ant-Man, you know what I mean? This could be something that we see for years to come, and they're only going to get better, especially if I'm worried about Minnesota because they don't got a good track record for like bringing guys in, but those 2 guys, and I'll probably say Russell, but more so they got a good young nucleus there, man, if you ask me, and I think they could be even better. Like I didn't see them being number 6 in the West this year, which is a really big surprise. So that was a fun series to watch.
Can we talk about the parity in the NBA on these 2 games? The number 2 versus number 7 on one side in the East was a sweep, and the number 2 versus number 7 was a knockdown battle. Didn't go 7, but it could have very well went that way.
Yeah.
Went 6 games, and but it was a nice little fight on there. Where you had the Timberwolves versus the Grizzlies. And I'm still going to say, I still don't see how they do this and call Memphis in the West. Like if they was truly in the East, like I think they have.
Probably balance it out. That's all. That's all they had to do. But like, but even with that, like you said, it was competitive. 2 versus 7 in the West. The not the Suns, but the Suns and the Pelicans, when you talk about the 1-8 matchup, that was competitive. Obviously, Booker was out and he came back a lot sooner than I thought he would. I thought he was going to miss the rest of the series, but he made it back with that bad hammy. I don't know if I would have came back that early, but I mean, it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? And Chris Paul, 14 for 14 in the closeout game. He could taste this shit. He could taste it. He's like, fuck this. I'm going balls to the wall, and you motherfuckers is not. I'm dragging you with me. Y'all playing down to competition. Come on. Let's go ahead and knock this out and make this do what it do. So that's exactly what Chris Paul did, man. Shout out to the point guard. You know what I'm saying? But moving back to the East, man, you got Miami. Now, what Miami did was just one of those things to where I keep on feeling like a lot of people are not really talking about Miami, and I have no idea why Miami's being shitted on like this. Like all they do, Prez, is they just go handle their business. They play Heat basketball, and they win. You know what I mean? It's not an impressive fashion, but one of the things that I did want to say that worries me is Kyle Lowry being out, is Butler being out. You know what I mean? Would they play in the event that this thing got a little bit deeper with their injuries? You know what I mean? I know they could afford to take that time off, but from here on out, I don't think they should be able to miss a game, man. I don't know when Kyle Lowry's coming back. Like, so that's going to be something that I watch out for, because as a 1 seed and having home court and being in Miami, that is a thing, but they're pretty thin when it comes to those two being out for an extended amount of time. So never know what you're going to get from that. So I'm excited about that. Boston getting past the Nets. You know what I mean? So that was just a wow. I don't think we even got to talk about it, man. It was just like,
No. You were supposed to talk about it last week. I said you were going to come on here and talk about it. So go ahead, have your piece, man. I like how you gave top 10 his respect too. You know what I mean? Saying like with Kyle Lowry being out,
I'm going to ignore that, ladies and gentlemen. This is a long-standing argument of Prez saying Kyle Lowry's top 10 and he's sticking to his guns. So I'm going to ignore that. But yeah, man. So like, I just didn't see that coming as far as KD and what Kyrie was building. I still thought they had enough offensive firepower to just at least win a game. You know what I mean? I had this thing going 7 games, albeit I did pick it right with the Celtics in 7. They just finished it up a little 3 games earlier. You know what I mean? So I was wrong in that aspect. But I just saw Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown in that defense, and those guys being solid on both sides of the ball, like the offense and the defense, and the willingness to lead by example in those 2 young players. And I think at this point you have to hush up the noise in terms of shutting these 2 guys or breaking them up. That's what you were here year after year, even with injuries and different things that they would suffer and go through in terms of Boston. Like, they should break this duo up. That couldn't be anything further from the truth. Those guys can play together. They play well together. They just needed to grow. You know what I mean? And that's what we don't do. Not what we don't do, but what teams don't do. They don't stay the course, to see things through nowadays. Everybody wants a microwave championship, and that's not going to happen unless you got maybe 5 guys in the NBA come to your team. And I think you know who those guys are when they're fully healthy. That's LeBron, that's Kawhi. I'm just going off of guys that have did it. You know what I mean? So those are the 2 that come to my mind immediately. KD is another, Giannis is another, and number 5, y'all can take your pick. But I'm just saying. So, but they move on. Shocking sweep. There's going to be a lot of changes in Brooklyn. I don't know what it's going to be. You really can't let Kyrie go, even though he's always unavailable, even though he takes off randomly for random different things and events, and he comes with his own baggage. He is the reason why James Harden is gone. That's what we've heard and what we've read. So, he comes with a lot of different things. But the thing with the pandemic and COVID and not getting a shot, that this can be an anomaly. You know what I'm saying? To me, that can be an anomaly. But everything else, Kyrie always come with some shit. But what's the alternative? Who's going to trade for him? You know what I mean? Ever since LeBron left, you know what I mean, and he left the Cavs, he hasn't truly done anything worth really talking about in terms of team success, not just individual success, team success. So you really can't do nothing. Who's going to pick him up? Who's going to take that chance? He's not a proven winner. How much longer can we rest on that one series in the finals where he went off? Are we just going to keep on crossing our fingers until that happens again? Or are we just going to go by the example that's set before us? I don't know. KD, got to step up, bro. You got to figure out a way. Got to figure out a way to play better. You know what I mean? He had that one game. Know that one game is not good enough, because if this was anybody else, LeBron, they'd be on his ass if he had a series like that. But hats off to the Boston Celtics. I want to continue to give them their praise, because they shut his ass down and made it difficult for him. You know what I mean? You never known KD to shoot 20-something times and get 20 points. Normally if KD shooting 20-something times, he got 40 on you, because it's an efficient 20-something shots. So who knows, man? Ben Simmons, prayers to him, man. I'm going to say that I'm going to err on the side of caution when it comes to mental health. I know a lot of people been beating him up about just trying to get the bag and get the check and all this stuff like that. I think from here on out, the Nets, if they care anything about this kid, when he's ready to play ball, bring him back online. Other than that, stop with the in between, the tweets publicly. He's meeting with the team to talk about his mental health. Like, that doesn't necessarily need to be discussed because they're setting unrealistic expectations for him. If he truly has a mental health problem, let him go deal with the mental health problem. This is like something we've never seen in terms of sports. You know what I mean? Yeah, we could say suck it up, buttercup, do better and all that shit, but that's not how it really is today. If we want to embrace mental health and going to get your head checked out just as much, you'll get your kneecap, your elbow, your back, or whatever the case may be is hurting you, then let's do it. Let's usher this in. You know what I mean? Because this is a thing that he needs to take care of. Yeah, he missed a shot. Everybody don't handle it well. He's taking it, everything that's happened since Philly, he's taking it extremely a different way, and none of us can really truly pinpoint what that is. So I'm just saying, I hope that they handle it discreetly. You know what I mean? And you knew what you was taking on when you got him. You had to know. You had to know that. I know they do their due diligence. So, but that's all I got to say for that, man. But moving forward, round 2 is happening as we talk about this, Prez. So I'll lead with a series. You give me who you got winning it. I know you've already. Can I
speak on one thing first? One more thing is, I was in town and I could have went to that Utah Dallas game 6.
What happened?
And I didn't go.
Why not?
It just slipped my mind on what was happening that night and where I was at, where I had flew into. And I was
in
like,
Utah?
Damn. I was in Salt Lake City.
Damn.
That game 6, I seen that game come on. I was like,
when
did I buy no ticket?
When would that ever happen again? A black man flying into Utah during game 6 just cause. This is the second place you done been to where ain't too many more black people. Where was you last time? Nebraska or some shit? Iowa. Yeah, even worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, I was there, man. I didn't end up going to the game. I was beating myself up sitting down there in the bar watching the game. I was like, why the hell didn't I just go and just Uber right down
Luka do work? That's the only series I believe I picked wrong, and that stinks in part to I didn't think Luka was gonna come back to maybe game 4 or 5, but he I mean they surprised me too by winning some of those games. So I mean, Utah's definitely going to break up. I think Rudy Gobert goes somewhere. I would say trade him for Ben Simmons, if you want something consistent at the position. But it is what it is. It's a possibility. But
all right,
second round.
You was going down to second round. What's going on?
Golden State versus Memphis.
Oh, you want to start down there? Golden State versus Memphis, man. You're going to want me to pick my hardest team, man, right? I'm thinking to go full 7. And I'm taking Memphis.
Okay, the young upstarts, the young pups, they ain't afraid of nothing. They gonna overcome all of that.
I think Morant continues to build his name, as a staple within this game, and I think they overcome him, man. The only person I think is the young boy on the Golden State. I don't think they kind of aware of him. So yeah, Poole. So.
Yeah, man, I think they got the firepower in Bane and Ja Morant to keep up. Again, that's the top offense in the league all year long in Memphis. So they got the horses. They got the number 2 seed. They got home court advantage. However, to me, the experience is going to edge out for me in this series with Steph, Clay, and those guys getting over the hump and finally winning another series after being out of the playoffs the last 2 years and falling off on the finals with injuries. Those guys are fully back healthy. They're doing it again with a new crew, but I think that wins out. Those guys doing it and being there. Yes, Memphis is here. They'll be back next year, but I just don't think that they have enough just based on those leads that they lost. So if the same thing happens to where they get down by Golden State, Perez, you and I know
they ain't coming back.
You ain't coming back. So you can cancel Chris. I don't care where you at. I don't care if you're in Memphis, Golden State, like being down 20 to them is like being down 50 because they'll just keep pouring it on. Steph is going to keep pulling. as it seems like the basket gets a lot more wider for that entire team when they up 20. Like they just gonna keep on pulling. So I think that, but there's a lot of matchups I want to look at, when they're playing there. Who picks up Ja? Because we know it ain't Steph. Steph always hides on the best point guards, and rightfully so. That's your man that goes with the shot. Got to do what you got to do, right? So can Clay, which is known for his defense in the past, but this is what you're back for, Prez. This is what you're back for. This is what Clay is back for. Can he hold down Ja? Because that's what he's gonna have to do. But then you got the cross matchup on Bane. Like Steph can't hide. Those two guards on Memphis are a load to handle. They both can shoot. Bane a little bit better than Ja. So this is gonna be an exciting series. So definitely can't wait for that one to start. And big thing for me on Memphis is, will Jared Jackson stay out of foul trouble? History tells me no. Because he's staying in some foul trouble. So so you got that. You got Memphis.
Phoenix versus Dallas. Where we go? That we're going next?
Yeah, that's where we going. We stand in the West. Phoenix versus Dallas. This is gonna be a tough one. I got Phoenix winning this, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think this is gonna be a cakewalk by no means. I just really feel like Luka is one of those stars to where I don't care who they throw at them. They have excellent wings that can guard on Phoenix. But that boy Luka, man, he got that slow flow, man. He's in control. He in control of the game against any player. There's no defense for that. You know what I mean? And he got the green light, Prez. He don't care if he missed his first 8 shots, because he got 20 more shots to take. You know what I mean? And he been busting, man, and he gonna fill up the stat sheet. You know what I mean? Like, he don't jump high, he don't run fast. He just play with his own pace, and I love it, man. So it's gonna be on full display. He's gonna do his thing, and I don't know who really guards him, but CP3, they got their work cut out because Brunson, again, he stepped up big while Luka was out. That's the reason why they won that series, is he stepped his game up even more. So I'm excited for casual fans to really see what Brunson could do out there as far as doing his thing. But yeah, Phoenix is gonna be a load, man. So I think if Dallas could steal one early in Phoenix, then we in for a full 7. They lose those first 2, I think we get 5-6 games most out of it. So of course I got Phoenix. What about you?
I got Phoenix, and I think 5. I think they get one out of there, but I think they're gonna lock in. They know they need to be rested going up into this next round. So I think CP3 gets them on the right little move, and keeps them motivated. Go ahead and knock this out quick.
Definitely. All right, let's move to the East. Miami, Philly.
I got Philly.
Really?
Yeah, you saying nobody giving Miami respect, and I'm continuing on not giving them respect.
Embiid missing first 2 games.
Oh shit,
bro! He broke his face, orbital bone. Yeah, man. Siakam came through, boom, boom. Towards it, they were up, quite a few in the closeout game. So they said at best he would be back by game 3 at best. So yeah, man. So
Mr. I'm the captain of this ship. Took him out, huh? Okay. Dang. That's gonna be one though.
That's like Luka in the first round. Like, I didn't know. Like they said, the third game, but who knows? He may come back with the mask.
Okay, then. Nah, Miami. Yeah, Miami. I still think Philly. I think it just goes full 7 if he's out for 2. I think they come back through. I still say Philly, but it may go to full 7.
You putting this on James? You letting James Harden? You really think James Harden gonna hold it down in them first 2 games? You think the old James Harden come back, or I mean, shit?
No, I think they lose though. They're gonna lose though, but I think they're gonna come back and fight the rest of the game. So, and if Harden could come out and hold his own for 1 game, give him 1-1. I think that'd be the best case scenario. But I mean, I think it's gonna go 70 the way it go now. But I still have Philly over Miami.
All right. So I got Miami clearly. Like they lose the first 2 in Miami, and so it says Philadelphia franchise players expected at least games 1 and 2 in the team's playoff series against Miami.
At least. I
At
don't like that
least.
talk.
Yep, 76ers announced big man had suffered a right orbital fracture and mild concussion in Philly's series clinching Game 6 win at Toronto. So he's not even traveling to the team to Miami.
He can put on that damn clear face mask. He'll be good, bro. We'll be good.
I think so. I think so, man. But yeah, he still has to clear concussion protocol. So it's all that stuff going on as well. So with missing those first two, I think those are critical, man. I don't think they dig out of a 0-2 hole. I mean, they're coached by Doc Rivers, for peace sake.
I do hate Doc Rivers. I have talked
When the last
down
time
on him
Doc crawled out of
year.
an 0-2 deficit?
Man.
This man's a great coach, but
I'm gonna stick with it just because of what I said and what I was originally going with. But I'm not feeling too confident about my pick though.
All right.
If you was betting now, I would tell you, don't listen at me right now.
What do you got, Boston Bucks right now? As we're talking right now, the Bucks are up by about 10 in game 1.
Bucks, this ain't gonna be no sweep. I think it's probably they squeak out. Boston squeaks out 1, maybe 2. 1. I'm gonna say 1.
Squeaks.
I think it'll be 4-1.
Oh, no respect 1. On the number 2 seed's name at all?
No, it's just the over respect I got for that boring ass Minnesota, boring ass
Bucks. It's Mr. 50-piece nugget himself, Giannis. Yeah. Buck nasty. Okay. All right, Bucks Nation. I got y'all, man. Hold it down.
You got two teams that we talk about, like, you know what I mean? Like, they have like a star on their team, but they play great team ball, right? Yep. But I just feel like the Bucks, do it just that much better. So we'll see how this goes. Anybody on those teams can get hot, but the main two, if we're going Tatum up versus Giannis, and Giannis just gonna have his way up in there, So I think they got the better chance to just take over a game.
11. Yeah, you take 6'11", could get to anything on the floor. 1, 2, 3 steps, he's boom, yamming it on you. They have no size in Boston to defend him. They got great defenders, but in space, he's gonna be a load. But same thing with Tatum. Brown, does he keep consistent, on the Celtics, Jaylen Brown? Because what people don't realize is in that first series, besides Tatum, Brown wasn't shooting all that well either. Like it was a lot of shots. It was really a team win, truly. Marcus Smart was giving you 14, 20. Like that's where he was in the 14 to 20 point range every game. So, but you got to defend here. And then also, you got Drew Holiday. So Drew Holiday is going to take something away from your best play the same way you've been taking away something from a KD, as in Boston in the last round. You know what I mean? Giannis defends as well as Tatum defends. You know what I mean? So there's a whole lot of things going on, and they can go big with Portis, and then you got Lopez down there, and they're at an advantage when they go big. You know what I mean? Because their bigs can shoot threes and they can post up as well. So that rebounding thing is going to be a thing. But at the end of the day, my true concern is Middleton. Like, what does Middleton do? Because I think he's going to miss this series too altogether. And if he does come back, it'll be towards the end of the series, which I think this will be going to a game 6, Bucks and 6. That's what I got. This Bucks and 6, man. So
okay, Bucks and 5, Bucks and 6. All right, then, man. I mean, that's our picks for this next round. We'll see how that turns out. As you're saying, like, Bucks are up right now, but 10 points.
About 10 points now. Yep.
Okay. All right, then, man. I think that kind of wraps up all our sports. Had a lot of sports to get to. Big weeks in both. You had the NFL draft, and then you had the NBA playoffs wrapping up. So great weeks. Gives us our little onset. So let's go into music, man.